Welcome back to the Jig is Up podcast. This is episode 3. And gentlemen, we are going to jump right into it. The NBA, as many of you can see, is underway right now. We have 2 games on the slate tonight, both in the Western Conference. So let's begin out there. We will start with Lakers Suns, where all eyes will be on Staples Center tonight, as the Lakers look to avoid elimination against the Suns, down 3-2 in that series. Injuries have obviously been key with several players. Anthony Davis nursing a groin injury, and Chris Paul has that right shoulder issue. It sounds like CP3 will be a go tonight. AD, we are still not sure. I don't know if you guys have heard. Is he a game time decision or not? Aaron, I'll start with you. Without Anthony Davis, do the Lakers have enough to stave off elimination tonight?
Well, before we start, it did say Anthony Davis is going to give it a go, so he's going to try to play. So that's number one. If he doesn't play, yes, they have enough because they have the hand quotations best player of all time on the team, and he's been the best player in the world this year. That should be enough to beat Cameron Payne and Devin Booker. I'm sorry. So, in my opinion, they have enough. It's more than enough. They have Drummond, they have Schroeder, Gasol, Kuzma. It's not a lot, but it's enough to beat Chris Paul and one shoulder Chris Paul. So.
And Schroeder, as we know, in the wins, Schroeder's been averaging 22 a game. In the losses, only 7. He had 0 points in Game 5. Nick, what do you expect from him tonight?
Just up and down guy, man. Very inconsistent. Like Aaron said, they have the best player in the world, and they say he makes everybody better. He gets everybody ready for closeout games, so he should have Dennis Schroeder ready. I say Schroeder, he'll bounce back. He's a good enough player. He'll give him about 15 to 20 tonight.
It's interesting because, certain players play better on the road because they feel less pressure. Hopefully with Schroeder, it seems that he's more comfortable at home in that environment. Maybe he needs the crowd getting him going.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. You gotta, no matter who you are, it's tough being in the role he's in, playing with them. Going from his years after he took over for Jeff Teague in Atlanta, I mean, he was pretty much the guy. He always had the ball in his hands, dominating the ball, scoring, passing, whatever. Even in Oklahoma City, when he came in, even when he was playing with Russ and Paul George, he still had the ball a lot. And even last year, with him and CP and Shy in Oklahoma City, he still had the ball a lot. The problem we all know people who play with LeBron James, he expects them to be spot-up shooters, and he's just not a spot-up shooter. And it's tough for a guy to adjust his game to being a spot-up shooter.
I'm sorry. Time out. I'm sorry. Any man that asks for $100 million, I don't want to hear it. You ask for $100 million.
I agree.
I can't blame this one on LeBron. I can't blame this one on LeBron.
I agree.
You can't score 0 points.
If
you're a spot-up shooter, whatever he wants you to be, you can't score 0 points in a playoff game.
Yeah, I agree. You can't.
I'm sorry. You can't ask for $100 million and do that. You can't even ask for $100 and do that. You got to stop that. Yeah, that's nonsense.
I agree. I agree with that. I 100% agree with it. I mean, that's a fact. Even now, even making $15, $16 million and playing the amount of minutes he does, you can't give 0 points.
And if this thing does go back to Phoenix for a Game 7,
Lakers by 20.
That's without, even if Anthony Davis doesn't play.
On Phenix, they won't hold up in Game
7. They won't.
And I
hate to say,
Go ahead.
Like we're probably about to say the same thing. As much as I hate to say it, LeBron in a Game 7.
Yep. over with.
It's over.
As much as I kill him, LeBron in Game 7 is 46, 12, and 15. It ain't nothing. Jay Crowder, I'm sorry, buddy. It's gonna be a long game.
If Phoenix smart,
Devin Booker should play 48 minutes tonight. Like it should be that type of
game. It don't matter. LeBron on the road, at home, neutral, in Antarctica, it don't matter. LeBron in Game 7, I'll take him.
So let's jump over to the game that is on over my shoulder right now, which is Denver and Portland. That has been one of the better series, one of the more entertaining series in the playoffs in the first round. We all saw the epic Game 5 where Lillard dropped 55 points, but in a loss. This series smells like a 7-game series. Nick, we'll start with you first. How do you see tonight's game shaping up? Where right now it looks like Portland is up 4 as we round out the first quarter here.
It's looking like tonight
Going
this game
7?
is going to be, yeah, it's just two very evenly matched teams. Two of the probably top 8 players in the league, give or take. Maybe if you want to get aggressive, maybe top 5. If you want to be aggressive,
It's aggressive.
One's
if you want to be
clutch, one
aggressive.
isn't. What?
Actually,
Nah, we're not even gonna go there.
by the numbers, Jokic was the most clutch player in the playoffs last year, but that's just neither here nor there. So I guess Dame isn't clutch.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Of course, by the numbers, the Miami Heat were in the NBA Finals last year. So
Yeah, but now this is probably going to be right down to the wire again. This was a pick'em series from the beginning. It's either if even if Denver does win tonight, it's going to be a close game. It'll be down to the wire. This will be down to the wire. Game 7 will be down to the wire. Even the series, what they played in the semis a couple years ago, was a game within that goes 6 or 7, and CJ hit that shot. So this is just two teams. They in the same division. They play 4 times a year. They play in the playoffs pretty much every year. It's just,
Aaron, who's your money on?
It's going to be close.
Game 7.
Game 7, I got the best player in the world at home. Give me Jokic. Hey man, if he gets to a Game 7, he's giving you 40, 15, and 15. I'm calling that right now, which I think it will get to a Game 7 because Portland's good. So I mean, they're not slouches, but if they lose, they're gonna get some words from me. I'll tell you that. If Portland loses this series, they'll get some words from me. The jig will be up.
It will, and the jig will be up, and I love him. He an old school guy. At least his mentality wise, he's not on all this,
Terry Stotts. Is that where you're going?
I'm talking about Dame, man. His numbers are great, but does he make his team better? I think that's going to be the question that comes. I love him just because of his mindset. He's very vocal about, not one to, be one of the guys that jumps, let me go play with, 8 All-Stars and 8 All-NBA guys. I like that, but it's getting to a point now, like, you go and get 55 points, and he had double-digit assists the other night, too.
Mm-hmm.
You get 55 points. Yeah, you get 55 points and what do you have? 55 points on 20 shots. Are you really making your team better at the end of the night? And I'm getting to the point now where I don't really know I don't know if his numbers translate to winning.
Interesting. We will cover, if these series do go 7, we will be back with everybody on Monday to recap all that. Let's look at the Mavs and Clippers. That series, Game 6, tomorrow night in Dallas, the last time the first 5 games of an NBA playoff series went to the visitors, the 1995 Western Conference Finals of the Spurs and Rockets. Do we think the Clippers have it within themselves to continue this trend and once again go back to Dallas and win this game, Mr. Sladro?
I think so. See, with Ty Lue, this is the problem that I've been seeing. Rick Carlisle comes out, he shows what he's going to do in the game, and then Ty Lue can't adjust on the fly. Every time he's lost, or when he lost twice at home, he's come back when he has some time to kind of watch the film, see what he can do. Then he can adjust. But he's not the guy that's going to adjust during the game. This game, Carlisle started Boban and Kristaps. Yep. And then Ty Lue, he still started Kawhi Leonard and Batum at the 4 and 5. It's just like, so they're playing a little chess game right now, and a chess game versus Rick Carlisle and Ty Lue. Rick Carlisle is going to win 10 times out of 10, unfortunately, for the Clippers' sake. But I think the Clippers will win
11 times out of 10.
I think the Clippers will win Game 6 just because they just play better on the road. I don't know why. I don't know why
I think
it's like that.
Again, it's a mentality. It's a pressure thing. They feel the pressure of the city of LA when they're in front of those fans. I think I honestly think it too.
If the Lakers lose tonight, the Clippers will win both games by 15 plus. if the Lakers lose tonight. If the
Interesting.
Lakers lose tonight, the
Ooh.
Clippers are going to win both of those games by 15 games plus because that's the pressure they're facing. It's the other LA team. If LA gets knocked out, all pressure's off. They're just going to come out and do their thing. But if the Lakers win, I can see them getting 10 home and 6 as well. So
When do we
It's
start questioning if Luka had a fake neck injury?
I've always
nah,
said it
man.
was. I'm not going to say it was fake, but he was milking it. He was
Yeah,
milking it.
he was front. He was front running.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he was when they came out and got that 30-11 lead. Man, he was jumping around, and then they started coming back, and they started getting hammered. He kind of, but then he still. I mean, he's been pro for a while and everything, but he's also still only 22 years old, man. He
Mm-hmm.
plays like he's 30, but he's still 22 at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still gonna have the how high school high school kids are. They up, they're jumping and everything's great, and then they get hit in the mouth and it's my arm, my leg hurt. But he's still
I
young. It'll
actually,
come with time.
I
It'll come with
thought
time.
Chris Paul's last shoulder injury was self-inflicted. It was one of those Neymar moves where his own flop led to an injury because I watched the play like 3 times.
Chris Paul, LeBron James, Anthony Davis all have been hurt this series from flopping. All 3 of them. If you watch
Yeah.
AD pull his groin or whatever, no one touched him. No, he went up for a layup. No one touched him. He just flopped to the ground, couldn't stand up. LeBron, when he was on the ground for 10 years holding his shoulder. Like, it's just, if you stop flopping, maybe you won't get hurt because now your body's out of control and you're just going to hit the ground any type of way.
Yep.
But yeah, Chris Paul
Nobody
definitely
control.
got hurt from just flopping to the ground like he always does. It's a battle of the floppers right now. It's just sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears and go over to the Eastern Conference. The semifinals are set. We've got Milwaukee and Brooklyn, Philly, Atlanta. Since Milwaukee and Brooklyn starts tomorrow night, we'll begin there. From Brooklyn's perspective, will we see more DeAndre Jordan maybe this series, who was the primary defender on Giannis in their regular season matchups? Or do we see a Nicholas Claxton be thrown into the deep end in that series? How do you guys seeing Brooklyn's game plan shaping up to deal with Giannis here?
I mean, Brooklyn. They're gonna say, and it's just my thinking. I mean, I don't. This obviously, I'm sitting here. I'm not, Steve Nash or Mike D'Antoni, but they're just gonna try to get in the shootout, and they're gonna say Kyrie is better than Drew, um, Harden is better than Middleton, and KD is better than Giannis. That's what they're gonna line up and try to do. Um, they don't really have much to really build a wall defensively for Giannis. So it's gonna be this is gonna be a track meet and it's gonna be a 3-point shooting contest. And it's on whoever makes the most shots. It is a shot making league, make or miss league. But this series it's literally gonna come down to who makes more 3-point shots. There's gonna be a lot of shots taken this series.
And the Bucks, obviously, this was a series on why they brought in a Drew Holiday for series like this. Aaron, where do you see that matchup shaking out? Is it going to be him and Kyrie most of that series, or not?
I see Bucks in 6. First of all, that's my prediction here.
Oof.
Bucks in 6. That's what I got going on. And I hope they put Drew Holiday on James Harden and not Kyrie. I don't want to see Middleton guarding James Harden. I just don't want to see it because I think he has a better chance guarding Kyrie because Kyrie's more. I mean, obviously Kyrie can get to the paint, but I think he's just easier to guard in this system than James Harden. I don't want you to Middleton trying to guard James Harden with just KD and Kyrie standing in the corners. That's
But
just
do you
that's tough.
worry about whoever you put on Harden? Harden's the king of duping players into fouls. Is this going to be a series where Drew Holiday is going to be in foul trouble half the time because of Harden's bullshit?
No.
I've seen it. I've seen it with the Pelicans. Drew Holiday, he's too good a defender. He knows what Harden's going to try to do.
He
He
can
knows
defend
to
without
step
fouling.
back. He knows how to
Yeah.
jump to the side of it. I've seen it. That's why I need him personally for my prediction to be right, to be on Harden. And he defends Harden very well all the time. But that also leaves you in a kind of bad situation because you have to put Middleton on Kyrie, and it's a lot going on there.
It's a lot. And the good the good thing for Milwaukee is that Brooklyn, they knew a lot of ISO, so switches really won't come into play as much as it would against normal teams, because they just gonna go one on one a lot for the most part. But I'll say Brooklyn, and
You're
I'm
gonna go
gonna
out
go
on
out
a
on a
limb.
limb. I'm
Say
going on a limb.
Brooklyn
I'm
in
saying
7.
Brooklyn in 5. I'm going to go Brooklyn in 5.
Ooh,
Brooklyn
that's
in
Oh,
easy
5.
work. That's easy work right
wow! The
there.
Brooklyn in
disrespect to
5.
my
Matter of fact, I got
hometown,
a
Nick
limb too. This
Young.
will be the game, or not the game. This will be the series where Giannis slanders comes to an end. I'm calling that right now. He's going to
Giannis,
average.
what?
I hope so.
Giannis slander's coming to an end after this series right here. The slander after every playoffs. This is coming to an end. I'm giving you 38 and 17. That's what he's going to average in this series. 38
Yeah,
and
but will
17.
it lead to a win?
Yes,
That's
they're
what
gonna
it
win.
counts.
They're
Will
gonna
it
win the
lead to a
6 games.
win?
So they're gonna win the first one. Then they're gonna get the split. They're gonna win both at home, lose, and win. I got it figured out in my head at least. In
All
my
right.
head,
So we've got Nick with Brooklyn in 5, Aaron with Bucks in 6. I will
you're biased.
say, I know, I'm from Milwaukee. I really only see the Bucks can only win this thing if it's on their home court, so I'll say Bucks in 6 as
That's
well.
what I said as well. That's why I said 6 and not 7, because I don't want to
And
see Giannis at the free throw line in Game 7. To be honest,
uh,
don't want to see it.
so, and then the other series that'll kick off, I believe, Sunday is Sixers and Hawks. This series
Ooh,
obviously begins and ends with the health of Joel Embiid. We know the
it
Hawks
does.
love to shoot the three, but without Embiid, might the Hawks benefit from an aggressive plan to attack the rim? In the 2 games that Trey played against Philly this year, he averaged 39 points and 8 assists. The Sixers are certainly better equipped to defend Trey with guys like Ben Simmons, Danny Green, maybe even George Hill. So, Nick, can the Sixers contain Trey Young this series?
Yes, they can. It's just going to depend on the matchup, but I want. That's a tough matchup, man, because they're definitely not going to put Seth Curry on Trey Young. You might as well give Trey averaging 60 points. Uh, Danny Green, Tobias, definitely not. So it's gonna be that's gonna have to be a team effort, because I don't really. You can put Ben Simmons on him for the
I see
series.
Ben on him maybe in the fourth quarter, maybe
Yeah,
inside 4 minutes. But
the
other
length
than
will
that,
definitely. The Hawks have that's a honestly, without, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. If depends on Joel's health, I'm going Hawks in 6 if Joel doesn't play. I'm going Hawks in 6. I'm going out on a limb.
I mean,
Hawks in 6.
That's
If
if Embiid
Joel
doesn't
doesn't
play,
play,
that's not a bad
if
pick,
Embiid
a
doesn't play,
terrible
it's
take.
not.
Mister.
If Embiid doesn't play,
It's a
then
terrible
Hawks
take.
in 6. Hawks. I just.
First of all,
I don't see. I don't see that. I don't see that Philly team without Joel beating Atlanta. I don't see it happening. I don't see Ben and Tobias in a 7. If this was, they only had a game. They pretty much had a game in 3 quarters to beat Washington, and Washington they really have nothing outside of Russ and Bill for the most part.
I mean, the Hawks are a
But
better team than, yeah.
yeah, and it is a better overall team, and that's why I say that. With no Joel, that's a completely now with Joel. That's I'll go with Joel. I'm going Sixers in 5. No Joel, Hawks in 6.
first of all,
Sladra?
let me tell you what y'all missed. The guy that's guarding Trey Young was not mentioned. His name is, I can't pronounce it, I'm going to screw this up. Matisse Thybulle or
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
I
He's
saw
going
that
yeah,
to
in
yeah,
be the
yeah,
my
guy
yeah,
to
research.
yeah,
guard
yeah,
Trey
yeah,
Young.
yeah,
And they
I saw
started
that
yeah.
in
him
my
this
research.
last game.
Okay,
That man
yeah,
had like 5 steals, 3 blocks in one of those games against the
yeah.
Wizards.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Bill.
Yeah, you're
He's going to
right.
be
You're
on
right.
Trey Young. He's going to be the primary defender. I would assume, especially if Embiid's out, because they started Ben Simmons at the 5, which would be interesting to see if they do that against the Hawks, because they have Capella. The Wizards don't have a center, to speak of. So that's who I
Yeah,
think is
that's
going
what.
to guard
Yeah,
him. That's who's going to start on him. He's
that would be
long, he's
smart. Yeah,
athletic. That's what I think they're going to do. But you never know, because if Embiid's back, then he probably can't start. So it'll be, you'll have to see how they do with that. But I think Philly's just too good, man. Honestly, they can shoot it. They can shoot it. Danny Green, Seth Curry, Tobias, they all shooting it well. They can rebound. They can defend. I would say they
It
could
feels
coach,
like
but I
a
think their
series
coaching
where,
matches even.
yeah,
Yeah.
where the
Well,
Tobias Harris or the
I'll
Bogdanovich
give Nate
is.
the I'll give Nate
Nah, I'm
the
not doing
edge.
that. I'm
I'll
not
give
giving
Nate
Nate
the
the
edge
edge.
over
No,
Doc.
stop that.
I
Stop that.
will.
Stop
I'll
that.
give Nate the edge over Doc.
No, sir. No, sir. At worst, they're tied. If not, Doc's slightly better. I don't care how
I give
much
Nate.
times he's folded and lost in the conference finals and this and that, but he's been there. So let's not do that.
Gentlemen, we have to wrap things up here quickly here.
Mm.
The Jig is Up podcast. Look for us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter or wherever you get your podcasts on your smartphone or computer. We will be back Monday night, 8 p.m.
God.
Eastern with another one. Enjoy the weekend games, everybody.